Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey! Oh! Hey! Oh! No, really, can I have some coffee?
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, July 30th. It's a great day to be alive and to wake up in Provincetown, isn't it, Harry?
Totally.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Good. Yeah.
It's been a crazy summer so far.
Yeah.
This whole, last week and a half or so.
Cuckoo
Something else.
bananas,
Yeah. Cuckoo.
But this past Sunday, I'm sure all of you know, the Provincetown Select Board made a mask mandate for all indoor spaces within Provincetown, and it's been a doozy. It's just something that we kind of thought, I feel like we were all a little lofty in our expectations, but we all thought we weren't going to go back, but we're back. And that's fine, because, yeah.
It's temporary.
Yeah. I suggest everyone get tested frequently. Either you're negative and you're going to bring down the rate of positivity, therefore making the mask mandate go away, or you're going to find out that you're positive and then you're going to stay home and not give it to other people, and therefore making the positivity rate go down over time.
I tested yesterday. I got my result this morning about half an hour ago. They called me. I'm negative.
Great. We love to hear that.
Yeah, it's important that everybody goes and gets tested. Even if you're somebody that doesn't go out or do anything, the more negative tests we get, the lower the positivity rate is. And what is it? They want it to be below 3% before they let us take our masks back off. I think it's around 6 or 7 right now, which is less than half of what it was when we were on the news last week, all over the national news. Our town manager, Alex Morse, on CNN, I think today again.
Julian was on MSNBC.
State Senator Julian Sear on MSNBC telling everybody that it is still safe to come here. You know, we're doing what we can to mitigate this problem. Still come.
Yeah.
Most of the fun in P-Town happens outside anyway.
Yeah, and I don't want to think we're being nefarious by telling people to get tested to have a negative test result to therefore bring down the rate. As much as that is the wishful thinking, it also, the more people that get tested, the more people that find out whether they're negative or positive, the more people that find out that they need to quarantine and not spread it. That's the point. We need to, as much as there is a little bit of their we could bring down the rate by having a bunch of negative tests, we could also have people find out they're positive and therefore be able to isolate. It's a win-win the more tests we get.
Yeah, and I think we're already rebounding. The worst part of this outbreak or whatever, this little burst, whatever you want to call it, I do think that it's actually kind of over. Everybody that I know, all the workers that I know that had it a week ago are better and back to work.
Which is great. There were barely any hospitalizations, no deaths. I think that is such a testament to what a community like Provincetown, being extremely vaccinated, is. And I know the CDC and the World Health Organization are keeping an eye on us to see we're kind of a fresh territory.
Yeah. A standard bearer.
Yeah.
Well, last year it was people were like, "Oh, Provincetown's got to be the safest place on earth." So everybody came here to ride out the pandemic. And so it was a terrible case of irony that we were in the international news all week for having a lot of cases.
But I also think the Delta variant is kind of wreaking havoc across the entire country, and I think one of the reasons that we were the first communities to be seen as having a cluster is because we're so on top of it. We're highly vaccinated. We are, especially as queer people, we're apt to get tested. We want to be aware of our health because we know it keeps us safer, we know it keeps our friends and community safer, and I want to pat our community on the back for being so great through all of this because it's very difficult.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Enough of the dark, heavy, serious stuff. We've got a great show for you guys today. Mr. Raúl Esparza is here. You may know him from SVU, Law and Order SVU.
I'm freaking out because two of my favorite things on the planet are musical theater and Law and Order SVU. Me and my family, my siblings are all obsessed with SVU. It's just my favorite thing to put on in the background. and also musical theater. Like, to think that like 16-year-old me, I think one of the first CDs I popped into my Jeep 1996 purple Jeep Grand Cherokee was the Tick Tick Boom soundtrack, which is how I first got exposed to Raúl. He is so incredible in it, and honestly, it's like I listen to him, and I always kind of loved him because he has like a very quick vibrato, which I also have. So I was like, oh my God, he has a vibrato just like mine when I was 16, and it's just so crazy that I'm going to interview him in a little bit.
Are you going to try to get him to sing?
No, I wouldn't.
He's not just a musical theater actor, he's a play actor as well. He's been
Totally.
nominated in every category that an actor can be nominated for a Tony. Mm-hmm. Incredible, legendary career. We also have Mr. Aloha himself, Esera Tuaolo, who was a 10-year defensive tackle, right?
Did we do the sports right?
Defensive tackle.
Oh, we did it.
I just said defensive linebacker on the NBC Boston News, and I was like, now all of New England knows that I don't know anything about football.
He's like 3-pointers and field goals and...
He also competed on The Voice. He is going to sing for us later. Mm-hmm. And I just had lunch at his restaurant yesterday, the 98 Hawaiian Grill at 336 Commercial Street. So good. You need to go up there and say hi.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you have a minute. It was fantastic, delicious. And we also have a little video of that to show you later.
Cute.
But first, how was your week?
My week was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, adjusting to the mask mandate was a little difficult, especially at work. I did feel like Sunday night was the beginning of a very steep drop-off in business in town. I think the streets got a little quieter. We definitely felt that the restaurants in which I work at were a little quieter. But that's okay. I think staying home for a minute while we get a handle on this is fine. But also, if you're feeling safe, if you're feeling comfortable, if you've been vaccinated, if you've had a negative test recently, come out and hang with us and support your favorite bartenders and servers in town. Throw some money at them. They need it.
Mm-hmm. Trivia was fun on Monday.
Trivia was fun, and I think trivia is going to continue to be fun. It is entirely outdoors here at the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room. We had an entirely full patio, but it was breezy. Me and Bob on the microphones, which we know y'all love.
I know, and if you're wondering how we managed to get somebody like Raúl Esparza to come on this show, he's been playing trivia and seemingly knows as much useless stuff as us because he keeps winning. Like his team has won 2 weeks in a row.
Three-time winner?
Three weeks in a row.
Winner.
Hard to beat. I know, and all of our friends are like, who are those people back there? And I was like, you guys better chill. They know shit.
What was your round this week again?
Delta.
Yikes.
I know, and I feel bad because I promised my friend Miriam, who's in town from New Orleans, she was like, can you please do a movie around the week that I'm there? And I was like, yeah, totally. And I forgot. So I did a round on Delta, and she placed like 4th or 5th, I think.
Yeah.
But her team usually does so well.
Well, we've been doing trivia virtually since the beginning of the pandemic, and Miriam and her friends and family were a team that had always played virtually, and this past Monday was her first time in person here at the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room playing with us, so that was really special.
The Sonoma Coronas. I know this has happened 2 weeks in a row where like a team that we only saw their name digitally for a year every Monday came and played, and I'm like, you're actually here. And Miriam's brother-in-law, John, it's his first trip to P-Town ever.
No way.
I know, so we had happy hour at the Red Inn yesterday, and he's
Cute.
just like, it's surreal to him to like, he's like, I watched you guys on a computer for a year, and now we're having oysters together. And I'm like, this is just crazy.
One thing that I got to do this past weekend that anyone who knows me knows is one of my favorite things to do in Provincetown. I saw the incredible, the talented Varla Jean Merman.
I can't believe you waited this long.
Yeah. But I went with my friends Joe, Todd, and Dane. We caught that show. The show was incredible. The space was incredible. She kept referring to it as the patio. She's like, performing on the patio. But the space is so fun. It's entirely outdoors, so you're going to be really safe there. I think even after the mask mandate, they spaced out their seating a little bit, even though that was not mandated. They're just trying to make sure they are making sure that all of the guests are extra safe. Varla's show was truly incredible. I'm so blown away by how like a lot of like theater and improv and all that stuff is like keeping a ball in the air, and she like never lets the ball drop. Like even if she's like stops to take a sip of her drink in between singing an incredible song, she still is joking, she's still making it entertaining, and I'm so blown away by her every time I see her live.
I saw a show too.
Which one?
Last night I saw Mike Flanagan and Lisa Bellows' 90s show at the Post Office Cabaret.
That is so up your alley.
Literally. It's like not just a 90s singing show, but my 90s. Like Mike and
Yeah.
I have a bit like the Venn diagram of his taste in 90s music and mine is like just one big circle. It was all like Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
It was great. Have you seen or heard Lisa sing?
Oh yeah,
She's
many
like,
times.
She's doing the raps in there, and she was doing No Scrubs, and at the point where you would expect her to do the rap. From
You
No
went up and
Scrubs-
grabbed the mic and did it yourself?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean I would have, but she did the rap from Waterfalls, and I was like, it was like a TLC, what do you call it, mashup?
Yeah.
Super mashup. It was great. I loved it. You know how much I love Mike.
yeah.
We all love Mike.
Totally.
It was
And-
so much fun.
Lisa's totally incredible. You can see her at the club often. You can see her at Tin Pan. She sings with Mike a lot. I think they've released albums together. I
They've
think.
charted on Billboard together.
Yeah, she is
They're incredible.
incredible. Her voice is so smooth with like a touch of like rasp to it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So be sure to check out that 90s show. That's every other Thursday.
Yes, so next Thursday is Mona, and then the Thursday after that is Mike and Lisa again.
And you loved Mona's show as well.
Oh my
so-
God, I am obsessed with it.
Just
That
be there
was
every
one
Thursday.
Of my, like what Mona did that night blew my mind. It was like so raw and real, and like the kind of thing that you used to have to go to New York to see. That's the thing about the people that are performing here this year. Maybe it's because everybody was stuck inside for a year and a half, but it really feels like the entertainment is elevated this year. Maybe it's just me. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I usually do.
I think, yeah, there was that break, and I think people really realize how much they miss being on stage, and that energy and passion is coming through. Yeah. Yay.
Can we talk about the Olympics for a second?
Yeah.
Well, you know that Simone Biles like dropped out of the individual all-around.
What? I did know that.
You did know, right?
You can't be on the internet and not. It's like everyone is talking about it.
I mean, I feel so bad for her.
Totally. But I also feel happy for her at the same time. She empowered herself to make a decision for herself, which I know a lot of people are criticizing her for because she's like wearing the flag and representing our country. But I think it was great that she took her mental health into consideration and took a little step back, let some other American athletes really shine, which obviously we saw yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like there's this trend right now. Naomi Osaka did the same thing. She withdrew from Wimbledon. She dropped out of the French Open to take care of her mental health, and I do applaud that. But it's also like it's like deeply concerning to me.
Right.
That like they're going, you don't think of athletes as going through such a hard time mentally and emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
But they're just people.
And it's also you're trying to focus on being literally the best gymnast in the world ever to exist. And then people are like, do you have a boyfriend? And it's like, shut the fuck
Why
up.
did you lose? Why do you suck on this surface?
Exactly.
And in Simone's defense, I mean, if you're a basketball player who's having an off day, you miss a three-pointer. If you're a gymnast with an off day, you break your neck.
Oh, yeah. Well, she did say that she got the twisties, which I looked up, and it is apparently like a little bit of a phenomenon within gymnasts and people who do like tumbling and stuff. It's kind of where you're like, you kind of lose that connection with your balance and your brain, and you have trouble like finding where the floor is. And when you're doing 4 twists in the air, and you don't know where the floor is, and you can't figure out when to put your feet down, like you're gonna hurt yourself. And she is doing things that are just
Moves that people have never done before.
beyond belief, and I would rather see her sit home and take care of her mental health than watch one of the most incredible athletes ever hurt herself.
Absolutely.
On a world stage.
It's called the twisties.
Yeah.
I think I get that after my second rum punch at the boat slip.
Oh, you get twisted.
Well, no, you're like, where's the floor? Like 2 rum punches is all it takes for me.
But I think it's incredible that, and is to be celebrated, the fact that American women have won the all-around 3 Olympics in a row, all women of color. So amazing. We love to see it.
Part of me thinks, like, had the Olympics just happened last year when they were supposed to, that she would have defended her title.
Oh,
and
totally.
been fine.
Totally.
Like, that 1 year delay, I think, hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of planning and a lot of momentum leading into an Olympics, especially when you're doing the things that she does. She's clearly a person who's constantly pushing herself, trying to be better, trying to do more, and you throw a year on top of that, and she's like, well, I'm going to take a year, I'm going to add a twist, I'm going to add a spin, and I probably was just not it for her, you know?
Are you watching any of the other events?
I actually haven't watched a single moment of the Olympics, which is so weird because the Olympics are like my favorite thing ever. I love getting obsessed with a sport that I didn't know a single thing about before, and I start like yelling at the TV. I'm like, oh, she's got the twisties. You know what I mean? I love that.
I know. I caught myself watching fencing the other day. Mm-hmm. Like an American woman won gold. No American woman had ever, or man or woman, had medaled in fencing before.
Wow.
Or this particular type of fencing. Mm-hmm. She had built one of those tracks in her friend's parents' basement during the pandemic so she could continue to train.
Work.
I know. Congratulations.
Yeah, but congratulations to every single athlete competing at the Olympics. You did it.
Yeah.
Also, Tom Daley won a gold in swimming.
In diving.
Yes, the pool stuff. You know, the pool stuff.
He's so cute.
Yeah, but he was really incredible. He released a little bit of a statement. He's like, being a gay man and winning a medal, he's like, I felt like being who I am would hold me back, and I've reached the pinnacle of what I do, and so proud and happy for that.
Before we talk about the weather and the tides, we have to talk about what's going on with the Barracks project for a minute.
Okay.
Look, listen.
Are we having a sequel to your favorite movie?
What?
The Secrets.
Oh, The Secret of NIMBY?
2, the sequel.
This is The Secret of NIMBY 2. It just keeps going. Listen, we need to have workforce housing in this town. What Patrick is trying to do with the Barracks project, which would house 140 workers during the season, is facing some difficult hurdles with their neighbors. Mm-hmm. The neighbors, some of the abutters, who should probably abut out, have instigated a lawsuit against a lawsuit. Why? I don't want to name names, but everyone
knows. But not necessarily in their defense, but they're not necessarily trying to stop the project. They're trying to ask for certain concessions and changes to the design plan to make it work better for them and the people who live around it.
Right. I guess they want the balconies to face away, so that the balconies of those apartments don't look into their backyard. Not in my backyard, right, Mark?
Outdoor shower.
Outdoor shower. Oh, is there an outdoor shower facing that way? And they don't want to have an outdoor shower over there?
No, it's their outdoor shower that they don't.
Oh, they don't want a balcony looking at their outdoor shower. Is that what it is?
Oh. I'm over here like, you want to watch?
You're basically in a butter over there.
Yeah, I live right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it's obviously going to change it's so quiet back there, which will probably change, but I don't know. I'm fine with it, but I also am not a homeowner over there. I live a touch far enough away where, like, as much as it will probably change my commute from work to back home, things like that, I do think while I'm home I won't notice.
Right. I mean, you're going to be at work all the time anyway.
Yeah. And that's also, like, I find that area to be a little dangerous.
Really?
As a biker. Because it's such a quiet street, people are like, it's a quiet street. I don't have to stop. I don't have to look around corners. But, like, then I come, like, scooting down on my bike and, you know.
So it's going to be even better lit and better paved, right?
Well, I'm not sure, but I hope so. I think that is necessary.
If they're going to increase the traffic that much, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a much smoother ride for you and safer.
It needs, like, sidewalks, like a bike lane, that kind of stuff.
So Patrick, we are here for you and the Barracks, just so everybody knows. What is the weather this weekend, Harry?
So it's actually going to be pretty nice, which is rare. I hope
rare.
As of lately, we've gotten a lot of rain so far. I just talked to my parents in Connecticut, and I kind of didn't know it was happening, but Connecticut has been getting historic amounts of rain. Luckily, my parents' house is all good, but there's been some destruction in Connecticut. So we've been okay. Boy. Even though we haven't had a lot of beach days, there's none of that, no flooding and stuff like that. So that's good. But all weekend it's going to be mostly cloudy. Tomorrow's going to be full sun. Today's only going to be partly cloudy. Sunday partly cloudy and pretty warm throughout the weekend. So that's good considering we have a mask mandate. You can be out a lot.
Tomorrow's the best beach day of the weekend?
Yeah, but also, like, come in and say hi to us at restaurants.
Yeah. The Red Inn, as usual, is open every day at 2 for happy hour, and High Tide tonight is at 5:08, which means my favorite thing, High Tide happy hour. So I took some pictures the other day of High Tide happy hour, and I was like, this is what I want people to see. But I forgot to put it together to show you, so I'll do that next week.
Yeah,
but it's so beautiful to be there when the water's coming in. You can hear it lapping, and it feels like you're on a boat. I just love it so much. Come say hi.
I love when it's low tide at sunset.
That's nice.
Because you get, like, all the reflection off the little puddles and stuff. So pretty. Yeah.
I also want to tell you guys about something that's going on next Saturday, August 7th at the Mary Heaton Vorse House. There's an email that I think Jonathan's going to put up on the screen. This is how you can get tickets to it. It is free, right, Mark?
Yep.
It's free. Is it only happening this one Saturday? It's a little chat with some local community members telling personal stories of their time in Provincetown, including Dougie Freeman from the West End Salon, who we had on our show. Anthony Lavati, Liz's son. Everybody knows Liz,
No
right?
way.
Yeah, I know. So go check it out. Get your tickets now. You do have to reserve a seat, even if it is free. So send that email, your name, and how many seats you want, and get in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing I did this week, I watched 2 movies.
What?
Well, this past weekend, me and my 2 roommates, we watched The Black Widow. Have you seen that?
Is that Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Watching it the whole time, it was so action packed. It was like literally 45 minutes in, and they had like never stopped fighting.
Really?
It was just like fight after fight after fight after fight, and it was so fun. And I love basically everyone in the movie was a woman, which I love.
Do you have to have seen all of the Avengers movies to know what's going on?
I think you'll enjoy it more, but not really.
I'm backed up by like 14 Marvel movies.
Oh, this winter, girl.
I think I'm
get it
still on
together.
Thor 1.
Oh my god.
I know.
But it was really incredible. Florence Pugh made her Marvel Cinematic Universe debut. She was so good in it.
Oh.
And her character especially, but the whole movie in general, the whole time watching it, I'm like, lesbians are gonna love this movie. It's just like badass women fighting and being incredible, and I loved it. And then I came to trivia and I was like, oh, did everyone watch Black Widow? I loved it, blah, blah, blah. And someone was like, oh, I liked Cruella more, which I hadn't seen. So me and my roommates watched Cruella on Wednesday night, and the whole time watching it, all I could think was, gay dudes are gonna love this.
Who plays Cruella?
Emma Stone. It's like an origin story of like how she became Cruella.
Fun.
Yeah, it was really great. The fashion was off the hook. It was so good.
Speaking of badass women, do you know who's in town right now?
Tell me.
Miss Jean Smart. Everybody knows how obsessed I was with Mayor of Easttown and Hacks.
Oh, Hacks was so good.
And she was having dinner at the Red Inn the other night. And sometimes when famous people come have dinner there, they like face the wall. And so you know, if I'm not their waiter, I don't go over and bother them. She was facing out, which I take as an invitation to interrupt her dinner with her children and be like, I love you, will you please pose for a selfie? Can you show them this picture, Jonathan? She was so sweet and so gracious, and I was like, oh my God, I've loved you forever, you're my favorite designing woman. And she was like, you're a designing women fan? Look at this, look at this. I was texting with Delta earlier, and so she's like showing me her text thread with Delta Burke, and she was like, this Delta variant, people are making, look at these memes, look at her, that's when she was a 20-year-old pinup. She loved that one.
Oh my God. You should have had her send your question about her from trivia.
I know. So my whole round last week was Delta. There was obviously a Delta Burke question.
Duh. Was there a Delta work question?
No.
Oh, bummer.
There should have been. We should have just had her come and sing.
Who?
Delta Work.
Oh my God.
Delta Burke. We should have had Delta Burke come and sing
or
at
Jean
trivia.
Smart, obviously. But everyone that came into contact with her while at the Red Inn just like raved about how sweet and amazing and charming she was. Don't necessarily bother her if you see her around town, but just give her a big smile because she's really sweet.
Also, she was on season 2 of Fargo, which I still maintain is one of the best single seasons of any show ever.
No way.
And she was like, the team that created that show is one of the most, like, every single person from top down was like an amazing professional. She said it was one of her favorite work experiences ever.
Wow.
I know.
That's really exciting. I love when you get to meet people you love.
And when they like live up to who you hope that they are.
Yeah.
Love her.
That's so cute. One thing I did this week, and this is personal, but I think it's something that should be talked about more, is I went to the test and treat at Outer Cape Health Services. It was truly great. It was my first time getting tested there. I usually do other avenues for my STI testing, but Jeff runs that. He was so incredible. He was so helpful. Any questions I had, he answered. You can get set up with PrEP. You can get set up with PEP, which is PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, and then PEP is post-exposure. So if you feel like you've been exposed to HIV, you can come get treated so that you don't get infected, which is great.
Did you have to make an appointment?
I did make an appointment. I think you should make appointments, but you can call you can Google just test and treat Outer Cape Health Services, and they have a number. Jeff was so good. I felt in such good hands, and everyone should be getting also tested for COVID, but also tested for STIs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're somebody that partakes in a boy beach orgy on a weekly basis.
Which is not me.
Sure. This coffee is so good today.
I'm gonna kill you. So Jeff is the only person we've filmed with that footage has never seen the light of day.
I know. This was so early in our tenure on the show that we kind of didn't really know what we were doing yet. Do we know now?
Not really.
No, but we shot it on my backyard patio, and it was like all this like dappled sunlight, which looked pretty. But then when I watched the footage back later, like you couldn't see his face, and I was like, what was I thinking?
And it was also like, it just sounded like we were in a wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Which we know you can't shoot outside without proper microphones.
We know that now.
Yeah.
We are going to have Jeff on the show later on in this summer, though. Thank you for your test retreat. It's such a great program for our community. Thank you, Jeff, if you're watching. Are we going to show them that video?
Wait,
do you have anything else to talk about before we need to get going?
Oh, there's no reviews for us on our Facebook, which we would love. So if you follow us on Facebook and you love our show, because we're classified as a TV show on Facebook, and you can review us like you would any TV show, so we would love it if you could do that.
So now, enjoy this 30-second preview of the 98 Hawaiian Grill. I had lunch there yesterday, and here's a sampling of some of their delicious treats on their menu.
Fun.
But it's definitely my goal. And what was interesting is like, I just tried what I wanted. All the above. I'm not on a brain tour and happy to use fresh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had the best time yesterday. Oh, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is Esera Tuaolo.
Aloha! Aloha.
We just got laid.
Yes.
I love getting laid at 9:30 in the morning.
Thank you so much for making some time to come on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I figure I would just, put on my Polynesian Moana gear for you guys, so you guys get a little taste of my culture and stuff like that. So, yeah. How are you guys doing?
We're so good. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Yeah.
Bob got a little taste last night.
Oh, yes.
What was your
Yes,
favorite?
thank you so much.
Okay. Oh my God. Huge fresh chunks of tuna. It was so flavorful and delicious.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you guys came and stuff. And also, 98 Hawaiian Grill has been a dream ever since I've been part of the Pilgrim House team. It's been a dream of mine to bring the taste of aloha here to the P-Town.
And this is your 5th summer?
Yeah, actually 4th summer. This is my 4th summer. I guess I need to. All right, here we go. How's that? Yes. Hi, aloha. Aloha. Your crew is going, aloha. Yes.
They love to do that.
But I want to look at you. That's why. Anyway, so yeah. You have your frame? Okay. Awesome.
I want to ask you a little bit about your football career.
Yes.
Was it, as a child, was it always your dream to play in the NFL?
Actually, no. It was my dream to play volleyball for the Olympics because a cousin of mine, Alan Allen, played for the '84 Olympics, and so I played volleyball throughout my years and stuff like that. So.
How did you end up in football?
Well, I was the big kid, like the big girl, and so when I transferred over to California, the coach was like, "Hey, what is this big Polynesian kid walking around in my school and not playing football?" So he kept asking me to join the team, so I did. And when I joined the team, it was just a natural thing. It was one of those things that I was good at, and then I continued to play, and it just sort of kind of followed me and guided me to the NFL. So.
And then, but you always were singing at the same time.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I've been singing since I was 5 years old. My dad and my mom, around the campfires in Hawaii, it's all about ohana. It's all about family and people around the campfire singing songs, ukuleles, guitars coming out. And so they taught me my first song called "God Bless My Daddy" when I was a little kid, like 5 years old.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then you were like, I'm going to go on The Voice.
Well, actually, no. They found me. I guess they have a department that just kind of scours YouTube. And so I got a phone call out of the blue saying like, hey, we want to give you a private audition. And I thought it was a joke. You know, somebody pulled a prank on me. And I was like, well, if you send me the information, I'll go. And before you know it, I was in Chicago doing my private audition. And then before you know it, I was in LA at The Voice. And it was such an amazing experience. So.
Who was your coach?
One of the questions was like, you know I'm 50 years old, right? I mean, and you know, during that time, they're like, you know, because normally on those shows, you have all these teenagers, you know, how old are you, 16? And they sing their asses off. Like, you know, it's like, but it was great. It was a great experience, you know. Yeah, I know.
It's warm in the tap room today.
Yes,
guys.
yeah. It's funny that I walked in and your eyes were just like, what in the tarnation? Yeah.
Because like when people are coming in the morning, they're backlit, so I saw like the outline of what you're wearing, and I was like, am I high? Am I breathing?
No, so yeah, it was an amazing experience. I had a fun time on The Voice, and I was like, I went to the playoffs, and before you know it, after that, I came here to Provincetown doing my show at the Pilgrim House during that time, and then I took over executive chef, and then now opening up Hawaiian Grill, which is an amazing experience, and we are part of the Pilgrim House, and it's been an awesome feeling. The owners of the Pilgrim House, Ken, Scott, Lynn, and has been amazing, you know. Stuff like that.
And it's just a two-man operation right now.
Yeah, it's just a two-man operation. So if you want to cook, please come by 98. And yes, it's a two-man operation. My boyfriend Josh is also the designer of the place. So if you come and take a look, you'll see his work, his handiwork. But he's also, I had to pull him into the kitchen, pulling him to serving industry. And yeah, it's just been me behind there cooking, and it's been fun. It's just when you're following a dream, and when you have a passion for something, it doesn't matter. You make it work, right? And that's what we're doing. We're making it work, just the two of us. And it's been just the two of us. You can make it if you try. It's the two of us. Yeah, anyway, sometimes I just blurt out in like, you know, in songs, you know, stuff like that. But it's great. Thank you so much for having me on here and promoting and stuff like that.
What is kind of your like favorite dish to serve to people? That because so many people I imagine haven't had really great Polynesian food here in town. What's your favorite thing that people get to try?
For you to ask me that question is like asking me which my favorite child is. Like I have two kids, but for me, I think it's
the next question.
It's a spam musubi. So spam musubi, it's like the spam sushi that we roll up in sushi wrap, and there's eggs, there's rice, and there's spam. And you know, in Hawaii, spam is like, we put spam on the map. It's like our filet mignon, you know. So, but yeah, but it's fun. But then we have other things. We have a surf and turf, teriyaki steak, teriyaki. Yeah, that's amazing. Also, the short ribs, the cow beef short ribs. Oh, the chocolate pork, yeah. It's also the loco moco was designed, was created by the surfers in Hawaii and stuff, and it's such an amazing. And we've been posting it on 98 on our Instagram page, so if people want to check it out, please do. Yeah.
How long into the season are you going to go?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see. We don't know what the future has in store. Just like the past, it's been. We were going to open up. We weren't going to open up. P-Town was going to open up. It's just one of those things where we're just sort of kind of going with the flow and seeing how things work. So.
Can we talk about Hawaii for a second?
Yes, let's talk about Hawaii.
Because do you go home often?
I do. I go home like twice a year. Yeah. So.
Because there are these two guys that have a place here. They have
Bob and Bob.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Eric and
sorry.
Eric and Scott. They have a restaurant group based in Kona.
Oh.
It's like they have 3 or 4 restaurants right there in town. And they were like, "Come work," and they cast a spell on me, and they planted a seed, and I was like, "I'm going to move to Hawaii for the winter." And then he sends me this thing that was like, the locals being like, "Don't move to Hawaii because."
What?
They were just apparently there's a water shortage there, and they're asking locals and residents to curb their water usage, but not adding any of those restrictions onto tourists.
They're making locals like stop washing their car and doing their laundry because of the over-tourism. Like there's not enough water for the people who live there to just live their lives.
Yeah.
And so they're being very like, don't come here.
Wow. Well, I've never heard of that. Hawaii has always been a welcoming place of ohana and love and aloha. So, for you to tell me that, I've never heard that before. There are things and stuff where, there's people that go to Hawaii and think they own the place, right. And like Zackenberg buying like 60 acres and stuff. So it's one of those things where I don't know, right? And sort of kind of taking land away from the locals, but. Right. But if you go to Hawaii, just respecting the culture and respecting everything, I think everyone's welcome. I've never heard of that right now, but
there's grouchy townies everywhere. There are people here being like, "Don't come here."
Oh
so
my
gosh!
I
know that person.
Yeah,
like, we
exactly.
all know that person.
Yeah, but it's you gotta know. You're not gonna please everyone, right? Just like in 98 Hawaiian Grill, we're not gonna please everyone. There's things on our menu that aren't that don't fit people's lives. But I'm sorry, we have 50 more beautiful restaurants here in Provincetown, Massachusetts that they can go and eat at. Like, it's one of those things where it's amazing. The support we've been getting from all the restaurants, from the people in P-Town, the locals, the townies, or whoever one you call, has been incredible. It's been amazing. And it's been just Josh and I in the kitchen and serving them. So if you come and you have to wait just a little bit, we'll just name it Hawaiian time. So you just, and you'll get Hawaiian time. You're on Hawaiian time, and you will get your food when you get it. Mwah. Aloha.
We love
Aloha. Yeah.
I love you.
No. I know. So, and I won't be wearing this when I cook. Seriously, I'll have a mask on, my chef coat and stuff. We'll be a little bit more professional at 98 Grill. So
I love this.
Yeah. Thank you. It's funny. When I first came here, I was walk like this down to Tea Dance and promote the show and stuff, and everybody would be it'd take me an hour just to get down there because people want to take pictures and stuff like that. But that's what P-Town's all about. You can be whoever the hell you want to be. The first time I came here, it was like Gay Pleasantville. People were like holding hands, gays, guys were holding hands, it was an amazing feeling. I love this place. And I know this place loves me and loves everyone else. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you so much for
coming
coming on.
And we're excited to see your performance in just a bit.
Performance, yeah.
I'm
not going to dance to hula. We'll save that. Just watch Moana if you want to do that. So.
Right.
But,
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
sounds
you.
good.
We'll see you in a bit.
So I just jump over there? Okay.
Me and Bob are really excited. This coming Thursday, right here at the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room, we are going to be hosting the Bearded Mistress Pageant. The Bearded Mistress is the name of the signature IPA here at the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room. One of the first beers that they came up with, and definitely a popular crowd favorite.
It's what I always drink during trivia.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to be having the Bearded Mistress Pageant. It's going to be a full pageant. There's going to be evening wear, swimwear, talent, and interview. Me and Bob are going to be hosting. It's going to be tons of fun. It's this Thursday. Follow the Provincetown Brewing Company tap room's Instagram to check out details.
What time is the pageant?
7?
Can people still
8.
enter it?
You can still enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a contestant.
Yeah.
Bring your looks and your talent.
Put a beard on. Put a wig on. Yeah.
He's in town right now and has to leave that day, and I was like, stay one more night and win this.
She's definitely one of my favorite bearded queens.
She would totally kill it.
Totally.
Please welcome to the show, Mr. Raúl Esparza. Raúl, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I can't believe I'm awake.
Thank you so much for getting. I asked Jean
Cold
Smart
brew.
to come on, and she was like, "I'm on vacation. I don't do anything before 11 when I'm on vacation."
Gosh, even 11 is early.
Right?
I don't do anything before 11 ever, except for the show.
You guys are so professional. I love this setup.
Thank you.
Everybody should see the turnaround. That's the best part of this.
That 30-second
It's watching the
video
30-second
we showed
turnaround.
was like 20 people running around.
Impressive, right?
What's that
Really
music?
impressive.
Like, and then we're back. But thank you so much for joining. It's been truly a pleasure to get to know you over the last few weeks in which you've been in Provincetown.
Yeah, I'm never leaving.
Yeah, really? Please don't. What brought you to Provincetown? What made you want to come here?
I think we came out, a partner and I came out about 3 years ago. Some friends were here and we were just going to visit for 3 days, and that turned into a week. And then we came last year and loved it, in the middle of a pandemic. So it was so quiet and gorgeous. And then this year we decided to do a month. So I think we're slowly inching our way towards
Being here for the
buying
whole
a
summer.
house and living here. All,
Have you been here longer than a month,
Cheers.
though?
No,
No?
this is it. Although we are going to stay another week.
Perfect. We love to hear
We're
it.
staying another
So
week.
you're going to win 2 more trivia.
We just want to try 2 more times for trivia. I don't know. I'm afraid now.
Why?
There's only one way to go.
There's only one way to go.
I hear you.
I don't know
I know.
any other team that won 3 weeks in a row either.
I say go for 4, go for 5. Yeah.
Also,
didn't we have a rule if you won a certain amount of times in a row, you got something? You got to pick a category or something?
Really?
oh, if you picked a category, what would you want us to ask?
Oh my God. Well, go my wheelhouse, I guess. We could do theater or film.
Let's
But
do,
you guys already do that.
let's do one musical theater and then the other category will be special victims unit.
Great.
I have to tell you,
If I lose,
you can't
if I lose
possibly
that yeah.
We've been doing this show for, I want to say, 57 Fridays in a row, about.
You're gonna say
And my
years.
sister Lori has never watched it until today.
Hi, Lori.
Wow.
Because of you.
Really?
Yeah. She was like, oh my God, how do I watch it? And I was
See?
like, how do you watch it? Girlfriend, why aren't you watching it already? So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
As soon as the promo went out with your face on it, I definitely had like 5 or 6 friends be like, what?
Yeah.
Whether, like, my little sister, a big SVU fan, so she was excited. All my like old singing musical theater friends were kind of freaking out.
I love that you were telling a story about listening to me in the car at 16.
Yeah.
Tick, tick, boom. I was one that aged me, but also I was doing the same thing with Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I would switch between them and that album and U2 in high school, back and forth, back and forth.
I was such a musical theater nerd in high school. My car was just original cast recordings
Yeah.
scattered around everywhere.
You never get over that sort of outer body experience of connecting with people that you like or performers that inspired you. I mean, it never, ever, ever gets old. So, I mean, I'm flattered that you said that. Like, my friend Melissa Errico is performing this week
Oh, yeah.
here in town, which to me is incredible. She was Dot when I played George at the Kennedy Center, and she's doing her Michel Legrand show here. And when we were standing on stage doing that show, I flashed back to myself, listening in the car. I was like, wait a minute, now they're playing this music for us.
Aww.
This is an incredible thing. It just never gets old. It never stops.
Well, also thank you for like being so gracious and allowing me to geek out a little. I feel like if I kind of geeked out the way I geeked out to you when I met you, I feel like a lot of people would have been like, eye roll, please get this homosexual away from me.
Yeah, I have a restraining order on you, but
Great.
other than that, we're fine.
Great. So I kind of know you first and foremost from the Tick Tick Boom soundtrack. Was that your first original cast recording?
No, my first original cast recording was the Rocky Horror Show. That was my first show in New York, my first Broadway show. It was Tom Hewitt, who did Sweeney Todd here a few years ago as Frankenfurter, and Joan Jett and Daphne Rubin Vega and Dick Cavett and Leah Delaria, who was the one who kind of introduced me to Broadway. We had to perform in front of 20,000 people without ever having rehearsed the show in Times Square, and Leah was like, you got this, buddy.
What?
Yeah, she pushed me on stage and was like, I got your back. She's one of the greatest things anybody's ever done for me. I was terrified. I was like 29 years old, and we had rehearsed Time Warp once together, and she was like, go. I was playing Riff Raff, and yeah, that was a great cast. Alice Ripley was in it too, Jared Emick.
Wow.
It was just spectacular.
Icons on icons.
So that was the first one, and we recorded that, and then actually I left that about halfway through, 6 months in, to do Tick Tick Boom off Broadway, and none of us really knew what to expect with that show, but it was so beautiful. I remember reading it and like actually crying over not just the script, but the songs and what John Larson was trying to say. And the reason I love that show so much is because it's very easy to write a musical about being successful or ambition or what you want, or we all hear that story. That artist is incredible. Let's go for it. That guy, he's going to be a star. This is a show about what happens when people say you're no good, give up, but you do it anyway. You figure out who you are anyway. It's a week in the life of John and all of those doubts that swirl through all of us. It doesn't matter. We don't even have to be performers. Feed into his emotional state, and at the end of the week he's like, I'm going to do this no matter what. And we know what happened with John Larson after that. I mean, it ends with him beginning to write Rent.
Right.
It was an incredibly special show. It's also tied to 9/11 for New York, for me. But yeah, that's one I'm incredibly proud of.
Well, I think what kind of makes Jonathan Larson's work so incredible is that it's such a moment, but also so timeless. And Tick Tick Boom is especially that. It's about kind of that moment when you're like, should I keep going for my dream or should I be a little more realistic?
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone has felt that at some point in their life.
On 9/11, I remember a cop stopped me on the steps of St. Patrick's and said, you guys, I saw your show downtown and you should keep doing it. We need to hear what you're saying. Because John has this lyric at one point where he says, cages or wings, which do you prefer? Actions speak louder than words. And there was this idea that we should stop. What's the point of doing theater? And yet, 5 days later, when we were finally in front of an audience again, we looked out and saw people looking up, like needing to hear what we were saying. I'm pretty sure that's about to happen again in New York. I think this pandemic has dragged the theater through the mud, and we're all scared about what happens next. And I think that there are many, many thousands of people who are going to be in that audience longing to hear their stories told. And to, for the actors too. You can film, we can do this, but you can't be live. Living on a Broadway house or any of those theaters here.
And it's coming back this fall. I have plans to come to New York the first weekend of October for my friend's 40th birthday. He's like, Broadway's back. My 40th birthday, we're going Broadway.
Good.
And so he went to see Hadestown.
Phenomenal show.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
What else would you recommend seeing? What's coming back?
It's perfect.
Yeah, but
We're
she didn't
back.
actually end up doing it.
We're talking about other things now. We're talking about Patti LuPone and technical difficulties. I don't know anything about technical difficulties online.
That's
I
the
don't.
fastest we switch out of camera ever.
Seriously?
What were they saying about Raúl and technical difficulties?
Yeah, everyone was like, it wouldn't be a Raúl Esparza interview without technical difficulties.
Do you know what they mean?
Does that mean?
No, what does that mean?
So we produced a concert for Steve Sondheim's birthday on his 90th last year. Well, for his 90th last year, which was supposed to be the opening night of Company.
Right.
And then we decided to do like, you know what, we're going to get friends and his great stars to come on and like just sing some stuff online. So essentially we made the largest self-tape compilation ever. And we had 45 minutes of technical disaster for the first hour. Broadcast to over 100,000 people around the world from one laptop in the Catskills.
Jesus.
We had over 1 million people watching in one night. It was spectacular. And we got Meryl and Audra and Christine Baranski to do Ladies Who Lunch.
Yes!
And anyway, it's being preserved in the Library of Congress.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We get very emotional thinking about it.
I mean, as
but
you should. That's
Steve
exciting.
called me the next day and he was like, that was an incredible concert. But I have to say that during that first hour, I wouldn't have wanted to be Raúl Esparza for all the money in the world.
Oh no.
People were like, gleefully enjoying our technical difficulties. So hey, we can handle it.
I mean, from the looks of the comments, y'all had fun during the technical difficulties as well.
Yeah, we did. It was extraordinary. It was that thing that happened at the beginning of the pandemic where you think, oh, we can do this, we can sort of soldier on, and everybody thought we could do performances, we can still create some sense of theater, there is some sense of community that we can do together, and people were so willing to show up. I think everybody's burnt out now. Everybody got tired, but there was that hope that we would come out the other side, and that's what certainly what the Broadway community does. Is people just show up. They just show up. So yeah, it was actually one of the most extraordinary things I've ever put together in my life. My partner Bill, Mary Mitchell Campbell, and Paul Montour at Broadway.com, we all did this crazy thing out of our living room.
Would you say Company was one of your favorite roles that you've ever done?
Yeah, I would say the Company and playing Bobby and Company was probably one of the great highlights of my career. John Doyle is probably the finest musical director I've ever worked with. And that production was not at all what I expected it would be, and the show kind of taught me. It really, sometimes a performance comes from somewhere that you don't understand, where it's playing you, and that's what happened with that show. But I felt very blessed to get to do that with all of Sondheim's work. I mentioned Sunday in the Park with George, that it's a transcendent piece of theater, and so it's hard to choose like among your babies of things that have been very special to you.
Right.
But Company, like Tick Tick Boom, like Doing the Normal Heart at the Public in 2004, these are shows for New York, about New York, and that is unparalleled, where you're playing for the audience that the show is about. Something gets lifted, and people would say, oh, we love your Being Alive, and I'd be like, yeah, it takes 14 people to make that song happen, and the whole audience.
It sounds like you really, really love New York, but you're moving to Hawaii with me.
I'm moving to Hawaii.
Wait,
yeah.
what about Provincetown?
We changed our minds.
That happened during the break?
That happened during the break.
Hell.
Yeah, that's my other fantasy.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I was like, I'm going to learn to surf. And then that's all I wanted to do was just spend time in Hawaii learning to surf.
Esther's going to take us and teach us.
We're going to learn.
You can learn to surf here.
Are there breaks here?
Yeah.
There's shark. There's gigantic shark.
And there's no sharks in Hawaii? What made you kind of get into television? Like, what was that jump?
You want the honest answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was doing a musical with
money.
Alan Menken called Leap of Faith that we worked on for 5 years, and it closed in 2 weeks on Broadway, and it shattered everyone's souls and spirits. Warren Light was the book writer on that show, and he called me about a month later and said, hey, I bet you never want to work again if you feel the way I do. And I said, yes. And he said, I want to write something for you. I'd like you to come do an 88 stint short guest star thing on Law and Order. And he threw me a lifeline. He said, just come work here. It'll be, do a little guest star thing. So I came in at the end of the summer to do this other thing. I thought, I'm done. I don't want to do any more of this acting stuff for a while. I just felt so broken. It's hard when a show closes. 100 people lose their jobs. It's your name over the title. $15 million down the drain. Whatever it is, you blame yourself. In this case, I walked onto a set with Mariska and Kelly the first day of filming Law and Order SVU. And it was that inexplicable chemistry thing that just popped between us. And I was fearless in a way I'd never been before on camera. And it was a ball. And it was like this hand said, you're wrong. It just turned into guest star spot that went to recurring, that went to regular. And then simultaneously, my friend Brian Fuller, who I had done Pushing Daisies with Kristen Chenoweth, who's here this week too, offered me a part on Hannibal, which was also shooting for NBC. So I was shooting both shows simultaneously for 3 seasons and running back and forth. And SVU turned into the greatest school in the world, and really one of my finest experiences professionally. Mariska Hargitay is about as great as you think she is. Even better, actually.
I can't even imagine, because I don't know if you know how great I think she must be.
And she's even better than that. Honestly, I mean, her generosity is so extraordinary. And I know that the reason that I began to do so well on that show is because we clicked. I say this all the time about her. She creates a space where it's okay to make mistakes. If you fail, you can be brilliant. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, if you can't mess up, you can never get things right. But if you can fail, if you can mess up, if you can try stuff, then you can be magnificent. And she just goes, come on, let's play. And that's fantastic. So, yeah, it's been a lot of television and film work for the last almost decade now. And, I miss the audiences. I really do.
Yeah. Do you mind if I play a little game with you?
All right,
with
what's the game?
It's called Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh boy.
So SVU, obviously Mariska is the what's the word, like, standard through it all. She's always there. You can kind of divide it up into like post Stabler, pre Stabler, but I think what more so punctuates it is the ADAs. And there's been a lot of truly incredible ADAs, yours included. And Entertainment Weekly did a list that ranked them all.
They were wrong in their listing, but
wow.
Okay. I just saw that for the first time today.
Do you know where you're ranked?
4? What?
Right.
What? Come on.
I know. But like
Come on.
the 3 ahead of you.
Yeah.
If 3 people are going to be ahead of you, that's pretty
fine.
incredible.
Whatever.
Like, are you really?
It's like the legacy game.
Are you upset Judith Light beat you?
No, how could you be upset about Judith Light? Really?
Right. So we're going to play Fuck, Marry, Kill.
No, yes, I am.
With the 3 that were ahead of you, which is Elizabeth Donnelly, played by Judith Light, who then becomes like the judge. Casey Novak, played by Diane Neal, who's also incredible, and then Alexandra Cabot, played by Stephanie March. Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Wait, give me the names again. I don't watch the show, people.
Oh my god. Elizabeth Donnelly, that's Judith Light.
Okay.
Casey Novak and Alexandra Cabot.
All right, I guess that I will fuck Elizabeth Donnelly. I will marry, what's Stephanie's character?
Alexandra
Cabot. And I guess I have to kill
Judith
Light. Yeah, no, Judith Light's the one I'm fucking. Sorry, Judith. I will.
Sorry, Casey. You should have
gone to the guys.
What'd you say?
Should have gone down to the guys.
Oh, right.
Cutter and Stone and all kinds of people I could murder.
I'd be like, fuck. Oh my god. I think you should have killed Alexandra Cabot because she always comes back.
It's all right though. She's my favorite.
That's true. I know. She's just like
outrageous.
The fiercest.
She's the fiercest, greatest thing.
Totally.
Yeah. Come on. You can't kill her.
Well, thanks for being a good sport.
Keep her close, is what I say.
Right.
Keep your enemies close.
Oh.
She is the fan favorite. Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for your time, and thanks for coming and playing trivia with us.
Sure. Oh, well, I love it. This has been a lot of fun. You guys, Provincetown is just this, I call it this like sacred, blessed space. You can be yourself so completely here and just feel utterly welcome. The locals are spectacular. The food is delicious. The light is extraordinary. You get this sense of a home away from home here. And it's so easy to sort of drop into it and feel like, why would we leave? A friend of mine calls this gay Disneyland. But I think it really is about the joy of it. And and getting to be here this month has felt like being part of some kind of like embrace of resurgence of performance and all this stuff. And the place is doing the best it can right now. There's lots of great things going on. I hope that the mask mandates make people feel comfortable enough to show up, because it's just been heaven being here. Really.
Well, we loved having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you love it.
All right, guys. Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Later.
That was so much fun.
Fuck, Mary, kill. What is wrong with you?
Come on, it's fun. It's a fun game. We are going to be coming at you in just a moment with a performance from Esera. Anything else you got to talk about?
We do want to thank our sponsors, the Be Well Cannabis Dispensary, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop at 3 Bradford Street. Adam just donated, he made a piece to go on the Dolly Parton, I always want to call it a jukebox. What is it?
It's not. It's
a
a
pinball
pinball machine.
The Dolly Parton pinball machine. It's like a metal sculpture of a butterfly.
So cute.
He brought it to the Red Inn, and I have to bring it over here.
We're gonna have to get Dolly
to come on the show?
Yeah, why not?
OMG.
She's just busy like making vaccines and stuff. I just imagine her in a lab coat with like tons of cleavage, like making a vaccine.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today and every Friday. I can't wait to hear Esera sing.
Take it away, Esera.
Hey, aloha. Thank you so much, you guys, for having me on your show. Also, I want to thank Maria, Ben, Ken, and Scott for helping me to bring the taste of aloha here to P-Town. It's one of my favorite songs. Hope you guys like it. Over that rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I dreamt of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over that rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up with the clouds are far behind me. Troubles melt like lemon drop high above the chimney top. That's where you will find me. Somewhere over that rainbow, bluebirds fly. Over that rainbow, why can't I fly over the rainbow? Yeah, fly over the rainbow. Aloha.
Thank you all for watching. We will see you next Friday. Thanks to Esera and Raúl for joining us today. It was truly a special episode.
Thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are, we'll see you next Friday. Bye, y'all.
Good morning, everybody.